Skotsky looking for that damage, finds him on the Diablo. Diablo forced it back out as their health drops low. The Immortal now is on 25%.
Back down Yo on the Greymane, gonna be the first to fall. But is it ETC? No, that's Malthael up there. A triple.
The Leyline used in the back, catching 3 people on top. That followed up by the APOC and the Lurking Hawk. Catching 2, but this time on, it's gonna be the first one.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi.
There's the lead, catches him in the mud pit. Time trap does pop. Mosh pit goes out. Cleveland's still in trouble. Pops to stay a while and listen, but it's not going to matter.
Here comes the Bloodlust on the backside, but he's doing it with Thunder. And then stunned. Oh my goodness. The combo.
Getting shrunk down, ETC getting killed. He becomes dog food for the Greymane.
I didn't think they had a chance. I thought it was all over. We said all or nothing, and they got absolutely everything.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. Tonight we've got a match coming for you from Division E-East of Nexus Gaming Series Season 13. We're right at the beginning of the season, and everything is a blank slate. This is every team's opportunity to get on the board and kind of start at a great place for themselves here. So we had a match a couple nights ago with ReGen Nebula. They unfortunately fell 0-2 on that one. Tonight, ReGen Rebel looking to bring in a big victory here against Souls in Slowmo. Now, this is a team I'm not personally familiar with, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this team turns out. There were a lot of new teams to Nexus Gaming Series this season, and so I can only imagine how difficult it was to place many of these teams, but it really ups the ante for these new teams to showcase what they have, what their talent is like. So do want to say thank you to my good friend HDE Range Harry for the sub. Appreciate you coming in here. 2 a.m. here, working late, but I'll be lurking. Fair enough. All right. That would be my good friend Alice saying hello to everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. I'm Arrow, in case that wasn't obvious by the stream, and of course my name right there. So all right, ReGen Rebel, Souls in Slowmo. Let's take a quick look and see what we've got for map bans here. Out of the gate, we've got ReGen Rebel banning the, and let me make sure, yeah, they're on my side, okay. We've got ReGen Rebel banning the Sky Temple and Dragonshire. Sky Temple, of course, being added back into the rotation for Season 13. We've got Souls in Slowmo, they banned out Towers of Doom and Volskaya Foundry. Souls in Slowmo, they won the flip, so they chose to take first pick. Thus, Tomb of the Spider Queen, the selection from ReGen Rebel. Now, I'm not sure if we'll see much for the standings, but we'll take a look and see how they look. So it looks like 3 matches have been played so far. And obviously, our teams here, they're not going to show up. In fact, I have to add another tier to be able to even see, because they have so many teams in this division. But they will show up there at the bottom with 0 points because it's the first week, right? They haven't had a chance. This is their first match of the season. But we can see Hard Stuck Support Group, Frostbite, and FF and the Pancakes taking 2-0 victories so far this season. Sis was the second place in E-East. There you go. Okay, well, I didn't cast a whole lot last season, so that would explain why. And good to see a Silver Arrow. Now, apparently there's a little bit of a movement to try to get us to cast together. I mean, it could be an interesting time. I don't know how we'd go about it. If it would be like Silver Arrow and Prime Arrow, or Gold Arrow, or just Arrow. I have no idea how we'd make that work. But you know, if we got the other arrow, because there is another arrow, if we got the other arrow and we had all 3 of us together, we could recreate the Spider-Man meme. It could happen. I'm just saying, throwing it out there for Twitchland. This is a thing that could take place. But it's time for our draft. Let's go ahead and get a quick note from the NGS Patreon. If you'd like to support the Nexus Gaming Series, you can get some cool swag. Here's how you do that. All right, and it always takes a moment for the game to load, so don't worry about that. There it is. And you can see we're already starting off with some bans. Now, this week we did have some adjustments to some heroes. I don't recall all of them off the top of my head. Maybe I'll actually pull that up in between the match, in between the games there. I do, however, recall that Diablo was one of those heroes that picked up a pretty decent buff. Managed to get a reduction in how many souls he loses when he triggers his trait, his I can't remember what it's called now. But instead of going from 100 to 0, he now goes to 100 to 25 once he achieves level 10. So, and then I think there was some minor adjustments as well in there. So, Diablo, a strong hero to begin with, maybe a little bit stronger now, and we'll see how his performance is tonight. Johanna and Raynor going to be the picks for ReGen Rebel. Taco going in onto the Johanna, and Johanna again, also a very strong tank in the meta in general. I think she might have received a little bit of adjustment. I can't remember now. Diablo pick with Joe up. Yeah, exactly. And there's the Joe. So we'll see how it works out. KFP, good to see you. Welcome. Glad you could join me tonight. Join us all here for this match. Nazebo and Rhaegar. So Rhaegar did see a little bit of a nerf. Lost some health primarily. Also, some of his talents just adjusted a little bit. And then Nazebo. I don't think there were any adjustments to Nazebo. Nazebo is just Nazebo. He's always been kind of a niche pick. He can do a lot of damage, but you kind of have to work around his late game strengths. And on a map like Tomb of the Spider Queen, it can be pretty easy. I don't want to say pretty easy. It can be much easier than other maps to complete that late game requirement if you don't lose the map early. I mean, this is all right, we're going back deep into the vault with this here, but this is the map where a team won the game 0 kills to 7 kills. 0 kills won the game. It's possible. So we're getting a ban on Greymane and Sonya. Kind of similar heroes. They both can do things like camp pretty well. They've got kind of bruisery melee tendencies in general. Obviously, Greymane, the ability to do a little bit more from ranged as well. And of course, has a little bit more damage. But Sonya is no slouch when it comes to the damage. So banning those heroes out is pretty helpful. Kind of interested to see what we see for the solo lane for Souls and Slow-Mo. It's coming up right now. It's going to be Blaze. And that gives them a lot of potential stun value between the Blaze and the Diablo. You get a Diablo Shadow Charge into a Jet Propulsion from Blaze, and you can really set up some significant AoE stuns with that. You also have, of course, the Bunker to protect against any potential shenanigans that we might see from ReGen Rebel. Something like the Deckard Sleep. Meow Meow gonna get the Diva. I'm actually a little bit surprised, not super surprised. I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't see Malthael picked into this. I think if I remember, it's been a long time. It's been a long time. But I think if I remember right, that Meow Meow likes the Malthael. And you've got a Blaze, you've got a Diablo. Yes, you have Rhaegar for Ancestral. Yes, you have Blaze for a Bunker. But they just buffed Mal. They literally just made him better at what he already was doing. So I'm kind of surprised that we don't see that. Which makes me wonder if the Diva is to provide some other benefit. So we'll see. Hey, welcome, Po Boy. Don't worry, there's only one true arrow. That is true. That is an accurate statement. Alrighty. Gonna get into game number 1. This is a best of 3 series. Both teams looking to get on the scoreboard. And each game is worth 1 point, but if you win 2 out of 3, if you win 2, there's no third game. You just get the extra point. So both teams looking to close it out in 2. We'll see how this goes. All right, on the left. Make sure those are popping up. Yes, they are. Okay. On the left, it's ReGen Rebel. We've got Velaravia there on the Deckard. Postman Pat on the Tassadar. Still going to be playing that Rainer. Meow Meow Cats on the Diva. And Taco going to be playing that Johanna. And over here for Souls in Slowmo, we got K4000 on the Tychus. We got Memix, I think. Memius on the Rhaegar. Lone Wolf going to be on the Blaze. Toxic Core on the Diablo. And Nemesis. Yes. Nemesis on the Nazebo. All right, so here we go. Quick brawl at the beginning, and it's always fun seeing a little bit of game lag at the beginning, you know, small indie company. Toxic Core getting the flip onto Johanna, pushing Taco right into the towers there. A little bit of damage, but nothing too bad. Johanna gonna be able to make her way out of there. As the team splitting up, continuing their rotations for the, or starting their rotations for the game here. Once again, Diablo just saying, no, you're not coming through here. This is my place, and controlling that junction there. It's always fun coming down and seeing the heroes on the opposite sides from their forts, right? You've got Lone Wolf, who's the red team, on the left, and you've got Diva on the right in the on the red half of the map, but as the blue player. So always gets a little awkward with that. But you can see here when we started, Blaze was about the same health. Diva was full health, and they're just about even now. So rotations going through here still. Looking to pick up as many gems from the spiders as possible. Now, we do have some new people here, so I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the map details and just what's going on here, just so that everybody has, you know, a little bit of an opportunity to understand. So on the map, on this particular map, and each map has their own unique features. On this particular map, this space right here, and there's another one down below, is a turn-in point for all these gems that you see. We'll see what happens with Diablo. Diablo in a very difficult place right now. It gets pulled in by the Condemned. Shadow charges out. Can he make it away? Has 200 health. Is going to try to make it, and does. What an absolutely excellent play from Toxic Core to be able to get out of that dangerous place surrounded by the Rebels. So speaking of the Rebels, though, down here, these are the gems I was just talking about. You saw one picked up by Diva. There's another one there on the ground. And you can see the counter at the bottom right of your screen. Once a team gets to 50 and they turn in those gems in these points, they're going to be supported by a large spider wave that will come in and just keep pushing into these into each of these lanes, providing additional damage, just like these giants are doing right now. But they're very strong and they do it all at the same time, so it helps to push into the enemy's structures. Well, if you have the level 1 talent, you can just spam it, right? Isn't that how that works? I think that's how that works. Just spam the blinds. Having the blind into Tychus is going to be very helpful. Tychus, you know, could cause a lot of problems for that Johanna. But having that potential blind here, right here, this level 1, additional charge, additional damage is huge. 40 gems so far turned in, and you can see because it's glowing, that means ReGen Rebel has enough now to complete their full turn-in and get 50. And I just realized that I have music playing in the background, which means you can probably hear that. So let me go ahead and fix that real quick. Sorry about that. Maybe just sitting there going, what is all that going on in the background? All right, here we go. And let's fix to... There we go. All right, now we're good. Now we're good. Trying to do too many things at once here. Keep track of where everybody is, talents, and also fix the music in the background. All right, Bruiser Camp coming out for Rebel. We saw the Bruiser Camp was available a few minutes ago for Souls in Slowmo. And this, in theory, this should give Rebel the opportunity to turn in here. Taco trying to turn in. There's still 6 needed. Taco's only got 4, so somebody else has to turn in. Could be Diva, has quite a few of them there. Also Tassadar. Pro streamer, exactly, yeah. Oh, look at that. What a penetrating round from Raider. Big root coming in onto the Diablo. Is there enough in the tank? There's just not. Rhaegar there to get a heal out there. And Toxic Core flirting a little bit with danger this game. So far has been able to make it out of a couple of challenging scenarios. And I mean, again, if you're playing Diablo, you have to be looking for those opportunities to be able to get out of danger, but you've got to be aggressive. You're looking for those overpowers to flip the enemy into your team and get that value for Tychus. Speaking of value, here comes the Web Weavers for ReGen Rebel. The Force Wall coming in, locking down Rhaegar in danger, is just able to make it out. 20 health. Raynor trying to finish the job, can't quite get that, and the minion, the spider wave, nearly enough, as Mamius able to just barely get out and avoid the death there from that spider minion, the Web Weaver. So Wall gonna fall here with the 2 towers in the mid lane. Already Nazeebo clearing up in the top, coming down now to help. Johanna's going to use that trait to get out of there, and now sees this Nazeebo and says, hey, we can actually maybe kill this Nazeebo, but the rest of the team says, we're busy, we got this fort we want to take out. And killing the forts is huge. That was absolutely huge. Yami out there getting the mech explosion off, and Toxicor just a moment too late, to be able to flip D.Va out of that. Really fantastic play there, and securing a full fort in that mid lane. And check it out, we got bottom lane is wide open now, no towers down there. Top took a little bit of damage, but nothing too critical. Level 10 is coming up soon, and level 10 is a very important level for teams. We'll come back to that though. Diablo is going to get that flip onto D.Va. No nitro boost for her there. Big root from the Deckard once again, but not anything too significant there. As mentioned earlier, level 10's coming up. About a half a level behind is Souls and Slowmo, and a big root coming out. This could be first blood. Can they get it? Just in time, the level 10 heroics coming online, helping to slow down Blaze, and that's it. First blood, make it 2, as Diablo gonna fall as well. Getting that lockdown with those heroics. We saw that falling sword from Johanna helping to secure that kill, but really the micro missiles really setting up that play, getting the slow out onto Blaze and making sure that they could get that down. Diablo now somehow getting the souls. I don't understand. Oh, no, that's because they got level 10, right? Okay, that would be that new thing I was just talking about earlier. So at level 10 now, Diablo no longer loses all of his souls. I'll show you that here real quick, just to show you what that looks like. So Diablo gets additional health from killing enemies, whether they're the small minions on the ground that give XP or the enemy team. And now he'll res faster when he completes that at 100. When he dies there, he'll res faster, and he won't lose as many souls. Normally you lose all of them, or not normally. The new normal is 75. Used to be 100. I hope I don't get hit by DMZ for that. That is true, because technically I'm sure she was singing covers, so hopefully that's quiet enough that it doesn't cause any issues. So there you go. Talents at the bottom of your screen. Yeah, I'll put them up every once in a while, so sorry if that was for a little bit. There's the falling sword. However, Apocalypse coming out to stall things out with that big stun. Stay a while and listen is going to isolate the Diablo, but there's not really enough here to do anything with it. Tychus there finishing the Odin. So all of the ultimates used here, both teams going in hard. The Web Weavers though in mid and bot just pushing up. Bot is going to be able to get that tower down. So 2 forts down now for ReGen Rebel as they make their way up into the top lane and see if they can't make it all 3. With 2 heroes down at the bottom for Souls and Slowmo, it looks like that should be feasible. Oh boy, at the bottom of your screen here, these are the talents. And so if you're familiar, if you've been playing Heroes of the Storm, you can take a look at these and kind of see what all of that means. Obviously, they're just icons, you know, so if you've never played the game or aren't overly familiar, you don't necessarily know what they are. But of course, if you have been, then it gives you an idea of what are people picking? How are they building their characters? And a quick pick there on the Giants. Tassadar's going to get caught by the Diablo. The Staywell's gonna come out and stall things out. I was gonna say there's no way Tassadar makes it out, but Diablo now in danger is gonna get the root, but the cleanse from Rhaegar is gonna keep him alive. Lone Wolf with the huge combustion in the back line. Meow Meow in danger now on the Diva, is going to fall out, and can she avoid the stun? Does not. Apocalypse getting the stun onto Diva, and that is a double kill for Souls and Slowmo, giving them their first chance to now start sieging up. Right, Rhaegar there with the ancestral healing just to keep the team nice and healthy, with the Giants behind a big value. A huge jet propulsion there, getting the stun out onto Johanna and Deckard, and Memmius is going after Deckard, says I will hunt you down, but Taco is gonna make it out just barely there. Johanna, so no kills out of that, but oh, never mind. Tassadar with the last little bit of damage required to bring Diablo down, but a huge play for Souls and Slowmo, giving them now enough to be able to turn in. They've already taken down the bottom fort, and they still have a siege giant down here, so that'll actually be, in the long run, not a fantastic thing for them to have to deal with on the side of ReGen Rebel. But we've got Web Weavers coming out now, the first ones of the game for Souls and Slowmo. Toxic actually just 1v9'd. Yeah, and kinda did. Just basically said, oh look, here's a Tassadar, I'm gonna eat him, and then I'm gonna go into that team over there. Rhaegar's gonna give me that cleanse, which gives me the unstoppable. You cannot lock me down. Got a little bit of healing, helped to keep that Diva locked down, got the kill out of that, and then got that fort. So fantastic play there. Primarily set up by Toxic Orb. Now here's the Falling Sword with the Staywell. The stun coming out onto the Deckard. Jet Propulsion did hit, but did not stun the Taco, just the Deckard. Deckard, however, could not get away. There just wasn't enough in between the old man and all of those red health bars. Here comes that Ancestral to keep the Diablo nice and healthy. As once again, sieging up has the Odin to provide that siege value. Jet Propulsion gonna be able to hit and stun the Diva. This time she's maybe gonna be able to make it out. Never mind. Rhaegar going in into wolf form, getting that dive, taking that kill, and once again Souls and Slowmo double kill converts into a fort for them. Meanwhile though, Bruiser Camp in the mid lane getting a ton of value. This is not necessarily a favorable trade, losing your top fort, but getting a significant amount of the mid keep. Maybe all the keep. Like, how long are we gonna take to come back here and deal with this? This is a big threat to Souls and Slowmo. If they lose 2, maybe 3 heroes, this keep dies for sure. And depending on when that is, if it's late enough in the game, it could be game ending. So every fight now, ReGen Rebel has the potential to just walk in and finish the game if they get a good one. So we'll see how that turns out. It's going to be a little bit harder for Souls and Slowmo. They do have the Bruiser Camp. Now, one of the things that these Bruiser Camps do, you can see this red circle around the Bruiser Camp. So first of all, that means that it's in support of the red team. But it gives anybody that's within that radius a spell armor, so it reduces 20% of damage that they take from abilities, not just basic attacks, but the general abilities. Now Diablo completely isolated here, should be able to get out of that route. Never mind, not quite, was just a little bit too slow there. Falling Sword's gonna come in, and Diablo gonna be taken out there. That is huge for Rebel, as Johanna keeps going, looking for something more, but the rest of Souls and Slowmo gonna go ahead and pull back. Diablo is back. I mentioned earlier, he's able to come back with those souls now, so he's already back on the map. So this is an even squad for both teams, but Diablo doesn't have as much health now, so we'll see how that turns out. All right, ReGen Rebel now coming in with the Web Weavers. This is their 3rd set of the game. Level 16s are here for both teams, so they're just about to their final power spike. Level 20s, of course, the last ones, but 16 is pretty significant. We can see they're already setting up, looking for this mid keep while the Web Weavers come in. And this is I like this play a lot. This is fantastic. Souls and Slowmo have to defend this. In their mind, they can't just give this up. Although probably at this point it's just gone, right? I mean, the Web Weaver's about to finish it anyways. They probably needed to be a little bit more aggressive with attacking Rebel to save that keep. But Rebel keeping them here means that the value goes to the other lanes. Toxic Core, though, getting caught by that black hole and then just could not get out. He cannot come back this time. Blaze with a 5-man jet propulsion into the Nazebo zombie wall, which was dropped. But that combustion, oh my goodness. That knockback from Raynor likely saving that push for Regen Rebel. Because if that combustion lands, everybody gets slowed, and that would be a really tough time for Tychus, or for Rebel to deal with into Tychus. Top fort there, Hyperion coming down, getting a significant amount of damage out onto the keep, rather. And Rhaegar now in a little danger. Not too much, just a little bit. But the focus is on that keep. And Diablo coming back here shortly. Tychus brought down to half health there. Has to be a little bit careful. I want to take a look at those talents again. What do we got? So, yeah, so we do have that Lance for the Tassadar. Jet propulsion hitting onto 3 this time. Diva is going to be able to make it out, I believe. Triple root from Deckard for the protection, along with that force wall from Tassadar. And of course, oh, and we've got a stale on listen. Now, that's really just a disengage. We're just trying to make sure that we can get away, is all Deckard's trying to do at this point. This now gives Mimius their own turn in now for Souls and Slow-Mo. So Web Weaver's coming in for the red team. They're gonna spawn very far back. So this is not much of a turn in. It's really a defensive turn in, just to try to push the lanes up, keep them away from their structures, right? They don't want to lose top. They don't want to lose bottom down here. And with level 20 coming up, they couldn't really wait. If they waited any longer, then Regen Rebel with their level 20 talents would have just walked up and said, okay, well, we're not going to let you turn in. We're gonna make a play happen here. So the mid Web Weaver down. You can see also the health in the bottom right here of each of those lanes. If you know, you can see them on the screen, but the health of the individuals. And this is an interesting play here. So it forces out Tychus's Odin. The level 20 advantage is there. Hyperion's going to come out, so they're just going to get some damage onto this bottom keep with this. Pulling out that Odin is actually not a bad thing. They don't really lose anything by making that push, but they also, it does mean that their lanes are going to be pushed back pretty far back into the blue territory. So who got the better value out of that? I think that Souls and Slow-Mo did, really. Especially if they can get this kill here. Oh no! Diva, oh my goodness, with that nitrous boost, able to get out of danger there. And just a little bit too late for the zombie wall. That being said, I mean, zombie wall would have just got knocked out of the way, so it would have been fine. Almost 200 stacks, 220 stacks. Once Nazebo hits 20, and it's coming right up. Expect to see that viral infection. This is a big power spike now for Nazebo. This is something that Souls and Slow-Mo has been looking for the entire game. Now, Diablo going in is checking to see if Rebel is on this. They're not. They were waiting. It looks like maybe they waited a little too long to set up that play. So Deckard coming in with Respect the Elderly, a blind and silence. So that means that anybody caught in that sleep, not only do they fall asleep for a bit, but they cannot use any ability and cannot do, they can't do anything except for walk. That's it. That's all they can do. Move around. All right, Blaze going in. Here comes the falling sword from Johanna. Just a little bit too late on that Rhaegar Ancestral. It's going to be a triple kill as Diablo falling as well. Diablo, not enough souls to come back. The Tassadar force wall locking down Nemesis. Going to be able to get that 4th kill. And as mentioned earlier, now Regen Rebel walking to the core. They have no structure to have to worry about. Tychus sitting at half health. Going to be a little bit of a pause button, but not much. Hyperion coming out, and Hyperion, of course, does significant structure damage just by itself. Calls down the orbital cannons. Does 3,500, 4,000 damage to the structures there. And you can see this is going down very quickly. Regen Rebel will take game number 1 in this best of 3 series. What a way to start this series. The kills 9-4. Most of that, of course, almost half of those kills coming in that last moment, getting those 4 kills. Otherwise, it was very even in the kills. The overall damage you can see also pretty similar here in the hero damage. Show those talents for you. This is the kind of game that's really exciting, where you've got kind of some back and forth potential, some really good plays, some isolated kills, some clutch moments where you've got a hero who you think is gonna fall because there's nobody to help them, but suddenly from downtown you get this, you know, over the wall ancestral or the cleanse that helps the Diablo. Just so many really fantastic plays in this, and ultimately the patience, I think, of ReGen Rebel at the end of this game, allowing them to secure this victory. So there you go, 1-0, and I have to hit update on this for that to show up. There we go. Magic. Boo, I wanted blood. Yeah, I mean, and there are plenty of times where you're like, okay, so they're both going, there's nothing else for them to do. There are no camps to do, they don't have enough gems, there's just XP to get, and now they're looking at each other, so surely something's gonna happen. And then nothing happens, and you're just like, what's going on here? Sometimes you see those, sometimes you don't, and it kind of depends on the heroes that you have too. With these heroes, with this set of heroes, there weren't a whole lot of talents that stacked off of other players. You did have the Master Assassin for Taika, so he's trying to get kills on other players. You did have the static charge from Tassadar, so he's trying to hit those lances, those shock rays. But that's really about it. There weren't really a lot of other stacking talents. So we'll see what we get for our next map here in just a moment. I'm going to take just a moment here real quick, though, because I want to get a drink. So I'll be right back. I'm going to leave you with this.
Hold your positions. Resist the chill of death!
Yes. Well done, minions. Now, bow before Kel'Thuzad!
All right, everybody, welcome back. All right, so we do have our next game here set up and ready to go. We'll be starting it in just a moment here, but let's take a look at these maps. First game there selected. The map was selected by ReGen Rebel. Going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Braxis Holdout is going to be our second map, also selected by Rebel, as Souls and Slowmo wanting that first pick. And of course, we talked about the map bans earlier. Currently 1-0 in this best of 3 series. ReGen Rebel up. Souls and Slowmo looking to take a point back here. They want to at least get 1, possibly 2. Make this a 3-game series instead of just 2. And of course, as we saw earlier, this is the very beginning of the season. Just a few matches have been played so far. 3 so far in Division E East, and this is a 10-week season, if I remember correctly this time. Carrie Ann! Yay! Thank you so much for your resubscription there, Carrie Ann. Alice agrees with me. She says, thank you very much for that. Good to see you. And I think we had a player that needed to take a step away for a moment, so we'll be getting into the game in just a moment here. So what else do we have to talk about? We talked about the maps. We talked about the overall standings. Storm Division is going on as well. So that is the top tier of Nexus Gaming Series. Basically as close as you can possibly get to pro level play within an amateur league as possible, right? I mean, excuse me. You know, these are the best of the best teams. They had to go through a qualifying process, and that is starting tonight, I think, was the start. So there you go. Alpha, are you nearby? No? Okay. I was gonna say I could bring Alpha up on screen, but she does not appear to be anywhere nearby. So tonight, maybe not. Let's see, what do we got? And arrow. You know what? Thank you, Carrion. I appreciate the secondary appreciation. Hello, what have you. Let's see. Take your time, guys. That see, there you go. I love it when a plan comes together. Oh, and Carrie Ann's a mod here, so yeah, nobody do anything that is inappropriate or unfortunate, or Carrie Ann will just have to wield that sword and take you out. Looks like they're ready. They're just trying to figure out who should have the captain's hat. Who makes the decisions here for the team? So once that gets done, we'll be starting. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick blurb about the NGS Patreon because I don't know, it looks nice on screen when it goes from this to the draft. So there you go. All right, game number 2, Braxis Holdout. This is a very different map from the one we just saw. Braxis has 2 control points, top and bottom, 2 lanes, top and bottom, and then a boss in the middle to help you to lose the game in so many ways. But the control points give you a Zerg wave, much the same as what we just saw with those spiders. A Zerg wave, a whole bunch of large insect creatures come to your aid in one lane. It'll alternate top or bottom, and you channel. You have to control both control points. You channel for a period of time, and then they come to your aid and help you to defeat those structures and ultimately to finish off the core. So we'll see how this goes. Could have some very different heroes. Stukov and Brightwing being banned out are completely reasonable and normal, I think, especially for a map like this. Brightwing able to zip around the map to the aid of her companions very quickly, and then Stukov has the ability to silence a whole area, so preventing actions like healing or any kind of crowd control effects. Anduin kind of the opposite, able to get people out of dangerous positions. So being able to take him out of that as well. A little bit of a healer choke we see here, just as we did in game number 1. Junkrat going to be taken out again, and Junkrat probably the most oppressive out of any of the heroes that were just banned on a map like this. He's got a lot of area control. Franco, you put that table back. Oh wait, no, Skin dropped the table. All right, thank you, Franco, for putting the table back. All right, so Johanna was left up, and this time Toxicor says, all right, I'm taking it. So no Johanna going back to the Rebel. Now, do they look at Diablo here? Diablo, we saw a lot of opportunity and value out of that Diablo in the Tomb of the Spider Queen, or is it going to be something like May? There it is. Yeah, I was going to say May is a taco staple, and I think she gets a lot of value here. She's got slows, she's got area denial, kind of doubling down with the potential for those walls that Tassadar can bring. So not a big surprise to see either of those heroes. 100% innocent here, says Franco. Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. By the way, guys, in case you missed it in the chat, there is a 30-second delay, so everything that you say, even if I respond to it immediately, it's 30 seconds behind. All right, so Tychus going to be played by Nemesis this time, and it looks like Kael'thas going to be the pickup for K4000. I'm assuming they're not going to swap that. I suppose they could. They could have just picked them themselves, so we'll see. Deckard going to be the ban for ReGen Rebel. So that's interesting. So they played the Deckard last time. So who are they going to take with the May? You've got Johanna over there. So having the Anduin banned out is really helpful for ReGen Rebel, because Anduin pairs really well with Johanna. So Lily is instead going to be the ban, and that's okay. I mean, you've got Tychus on the other side, so taking that out is good. Malfurion did get a bit of a buff. I wonder if we could see a Malfurion here with the May. I mentioned the slows, the stun that May provides. You've got that force wall, the extra root that Malfurion can bring, and locking down along with that silence. And the level 20, I think, got an in. I love it. And Imperius coming in as well. So a whole lot of CC potential coming out so far for ReGen Rebel. All right, so who else do we got? So we've got the Johanna. We did see Rhaegar last time. Rhaegar maybe a little bit less valuable at this point, so I'm not sure that we'll see the Rhaegar again. Who else? Lucio could be interesting too. Lucio's got high 5, which would provide for that unstoppable. It is going to be Rhaegar. Okay, and that's fine. Rhaegar, again, we did see a little bit of a nerf on him, but he's still a strong hero. So the interesting thing here, though, is the Anubarak. Anubarak in that solo lane versus Imperius. I think that's going to be a really tough matchup. I'm interested to see how this plays out, because never mind. They switched it. Anubarak is going to be in the main lane, and Johanna is going to be in the off lane. There you go. All right. That makes a little bit more sense, because you're blind. Wait, and we changed people? What are you doing to me, guys? All right, who changed? We got Meow Meow on Imperius. So no Syl. Instead, we have Beast Red. Okay. Gara. Dude, that looks like everybody. All right. So, okay. So what I was going to say earlier, Johanna versus Imperius. So Johanna doesn't necessarily do as much damage as Imperius can. But with those blinds, she can potentially negate a lot of the damage that Imperius can do. So it's an interesting matchup. Johanna has pretty decent wave clear too for tanks, whereas Imperius really is not super great. So we'll see how that turns out. All right. So into this game. ReGen Rebel on the left here, currently up 1-0. Do I have I don't have the pop-ups going. Pop-ups, go.
10 seconds.
All right, we're gonna do this lightning quick. Taco on the May. We've got Velaravia on the Malfurion. Meow Meow Cats on the Imperius. We got Prostman Pat on the Tassadar. and Zagara, going to be played by Beastren. And over here to the right, we got K4000 on the Kael'thas. So Nubrak going to be played by Toxic Core. Mamius on the Rhaegar again. Johanna going to be played by Lone Wolf, and Tychus going to be played by Nemesis. Did I do that right? Make sure that they didn't change that. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so things of note. Imperius is not in the top lane. Imperius is actually down in the bottom lane. Zagara went up to the top. Now, Zagara could be in danger. Tychus does get that minigun. Looking for the grenade. There it is. Quick kill. Tychus with that first blood. We're not waiting till level 10 this game. And that is actually a significant loss. Not only the XP that Souls and Slowmo gets from that kill, but also the XP lost that ReGen Rebel is not able to pick up from these minions. That is a pretty significant bonus. Already about a half level. But Johanna's getting very low. Is she going to make it? Oh my goodness. That was close. Lone Wolf flirting with danger there. Has that shield at just the last possible second to survive the tower. So now electing to split these up 3 and 2. So Zagara has the longer range. And as mentioned, Johanna versus Imperius, Johanna provides a pretty significant benefit for that, especially when you have somebody to support. Having that Tychus there for the player damage makes this a whole lot more valuable for Souls and Slowmo. All right, so Imperius missing the Celestial Charge, is that? Yeah, that's right. Too many charges in this game. Shadow Charge, Celestial Charge. I'm sure there's another charge or two that I'm not thinking of that are there. Dinner and an NGS cast can't get better. Fair enough. Fair enough. Predictions. You know what? That's too much work for me. This is my second cast back in 2 seasons. Meow Meow going in does get a big stun there under the tower, so taking some damage. Rhaegar getting that cleanse pretty quickly. Force wall down. Toxic Core, however, able to burrow charge under. There's another charge. What did I tell you? I knew there were other charges in this game. Meanwhile, Zagara up here doing some work. Check out these health bars. Johanna, no health. Tychus, no health. Both of them having to make use of the healing well and that regen globe. So keep an eye on this. Can this 2v1 in the top actually provide benefit to ReGen Rebel down in the bottom lane? If Zagara is able to hold this against 2 characters, that's going to cause a lot of problems in the long run for Souls and Slowmo. Hey, it's a fishy. Always on the blue team. Well, there you go. Fair enough. All right, so this is what we saw earlier, but Zagara was pretty far forward there. The condemn from Johanna pulling Zagara in, that punish to slow her down, and then Tychus trying to follow up. So that is what Souls and Slowmo is looking for up in this top lane, to put damage onto Zagara. Now, Zagara doesn't have any mana here, and likely doesn't have access to her healing well for a bit. So the 2v1 not going super great at this point now, because our Zagara doesn't have enough mana to do anything about it. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, ReGen Rebel picking up the siege camp, and so in order for this to work in the blue favor, bottom lane has to get value, and you can see there's not a lot of value there compared to how much these two are getting up here. Now, Tychus is gonna get taken out by the fort. Got a little bit too greedy going after Beastren there, and now Meow Meow with that rotation up is gonna be able to get the second kill down in the bottom lane. This is 3v3, so it's gonna be very difficult for Souls and Slowmo to step in. That's gonna give the channel back over to ReGen Rebel. So up above the map here, you see 16-18% now for ReGen Rebel, and let's take a look at these Zerg, right? This is where these Zerg are coming from, right here. And they start filling up as this percentage goes up. You see them coming out of their holding cells. And they'll be coming out at that 100% mark whenever either team gets 100%. Big gravity lapse onto the Malfurion. Dive coming in from the Anubrak. A big stun there, helping to secure that kill on the Malfurion. Meow Meow just a little bit too late to come in and help with that. Taco trying to zone out there. Living Bomb is maybe going to get spread, but doesn't. So probably already spread. And the channel beginning now for Souls and Slowmo. And I mentioned that percentage and the Zerg coming in. So once you've reached a certain threshold, you'll get Zerg. These are coming out no matter what. And now these are filling up in the top lane here for the red team. So Zagara, though, a little bit aggressive and getting caught once again with that combination, Johanna plus Tychus. But the channel stopped. 82%, I believe, is enough. Can an Ibrak make it out? Gets rooted, and that you cannot burrow charge out of. You can burrow charge through it. You cannot get out of it. And this is aggressive. I don't think that Imperius makes it out of this. Yeah. Yeah, the goal there, I think, was, hey, they don't have one of their heroes. Let's go finish this channel off. But you have to be mindful of where those other people might be. Now, if Imperius had used that charge to try to go over a wall, like maybe right here, maybe they could have survived. Possibly. Probably not, though. I thought this was an ARAM for some reason. Brax's outpost instead of holdout. All right, well, there's the force wall coming in. Big spear, and the root is not quite in the right place. Taco diving in, trying to get the finish, but not able to do it there. The Zerg coming out, so we do have 100% for the red team, Souls and Slowmo, and it's coming in to already a weak lane. No wall here, so these Zerg are going to be able to push right onto that fort, but it's pretty much the same in the bottom lane. And let's take a look. Let's evaluate which team can clear these better. You've got the Kael'thas for pretty significant AoE, but he doesn't have any mana. So this actually becomes a little bit harder for that clear. Tychus doesn't do great AoE, and that's about it. So it's really a lot of damage coming in here. Meow Meow going in for the stun, did not connect that though, so that's going to be a quick kill. Up in the top though, Zagara and Tassadar both have pretty significant AoE, but not enough to save the fort. So both teams losing their forts in the Zerg lane. But level 10 here for Souls and Slowmo, just a little bit ahead of ReGen Rebel. Not really close enough like we saw in last game where ReGen Rebel were able to make use of the level 10s coming up at a perfect time and secure themselves a kill. Nobody's anywhere near anybody. So these are just kind of even fights at this point. They both have their level 10s available when they meet each other. But we can see Souls and Slowmo ready to pick up this camp as soon as that Zerg wave goes away. So we do have a Pyroblast here from the Kael'thas. I expect to see that probably on the Malfurion pretty frequently. Malfurion doesn't have any way to really deal with that. There's no assistance from team like a bunker or anything like that, or a Medivh shield. And Malfurion's, I mean, he's just not going to heal himself up quickly after that. So I kind of expect Malfurion to be the primary target of those Pyroblasts. We saw the Odin in the last game, and of course in that Ancestral big heal. So, you know, those aren't going to be really any different. Same thing with the Falling Sword. Well, Icewall's going to come out. Can they get the stun? It looks like 2, maybe 3. Big unstoppable there onto Kael'thas, but it wasn't enough. The Black Hole coming out. Ancestral healing there onto Tychus. And Tychus using the Odin to become unstoppable himself. Absolutely huge. That could have been so much worse. It ended up only being 2. It could have been 3, possibly 4, because Rhaegar actually came right into that and nearly got caught by it himself. And I mentioned earlier about the boss being kind of the way to lose a game. Kael'thas is already back. The Nubrak is back in a moment, so if they don't burn this extremely quickly, Souls and Slowmo can come in. And that's exactly what they're doing. They said, hey, we know where you're at. We have a Johanna. We still have a tank. We can come make this difficult for you. Big stun by the Imperius onto the back line. Looks like they're still trying to deal with the boss here. Pyroblast is going out onto the Zagara, and she's gonna get just absolutely obliterated there. Johanna's gonna fall to the boss here. Icewall is gonna come out, but it doesn't hit the people that it needs to in order to pick that up. So it looks like maybe the red team gonna be able to pick this up, but Tassadar with a big shock raise, actually able to get a double kill out of this. Taco staying alive for a long time, but not long enough, and it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my god, when does this happen? Everybody's dead. What's up, boss? Check you out. You got a map entirely to yourself. Do whatever you want. Holy cow. That does not happen. You don't see 5 people die on one side and 5 people die on the other side basically ever. Usually somebody makes it out. What a fight. That was just an absolute brawl. Ultimately, the net positive goes over here to Souls and Slowmo because they pick up the boss and they're able to get some structure damage here. And with that, they're also able to get the channel. Angelic Armaments used there for Imperius. So giving him that big shield, and at the end of that, we see he's got that ability to throw out those swords. And that's a pretty significant amount of damage if they all hit a target. Carry on. Excellent use of the emotes. Oh, man. All right. 32% so far picked up for Souls and Slowmo on the Zerg. And again, I mentioned these Zerg waves, they flip. So now the red team's coming in the bottom lane, blue team in the top lane. Taco all by himself here. Oh, my goodness. I was expecting maybe a little bit faster stun on that. Because you do have... just between these 3 heroes, you got Anubarak with a double stun. You've got Gravity Lapse out of the Kael'thas. Icewall missed, and here comes the Falling Sword looking for that dive. They're looking for the Malfurion. Black Hole's going to come out, and Anubarak obliterated the Ancestral, missing the intended target, instead going after Johanna there. And now Nemesis in the Odin having to pull back. So just a quick 1 kill there, but that could be a huge value play here for ReGen Rebel. And it all started with a missed ice wall. But what, you know, let's actually go back up here and let's look at this guy right here. This guy right here with that black hole, making sure that Anubarak taken out, using the timing. I think they were actually trying to stall out the Johanna, which worked because of that falling sword, but the Anubarak's the one who ultimately paid the price for it. When does Mario come out? Oh, the Mario. I don't have that gif, I'm sorry. All right, looks like Rebel getting a little cheeky, going in after the Bruiser camp here on the offense side. So that's a pretty valuable camp if they can pick this up. That'll put pressure into that bottom lane along with their catapults. So that providing extra value. But up in the top here, Tychus and Kael'thas kind of doing the same thing, except just with the experience lane, the minions. All right, so Johanna kind of isolated. Oh, the force wall just a little bit off there. But Johanna's falling sword was available, so they probably could have gotten out of here. Anubarak making a quick play to stall out the channel progress. 66% now in favor of ReGen Rebel. 32% for Souls and Slowmo. And so these right here, what they just killed. Zagara is a member of the Zerg. And as mentioned, those are the insect creatures that we see here. Well, there's Anubarak getting caught by May. Imperius with a big stun, but again, Johanna is able to walk away without Unstoppable. I think that was actually Rhaegar's cleanse. I think I heard that. So everybody is here, 16 to 15. Very slight talent advantage in favor of ReGen Rebel, and we're just playing a little bit of back and forth, a little seesaw action here to gather channel if you're ReGen Rebel, delay the channel if you're Souls and Slowmo. 16's up for both teams. So again, as mentioned in the last game, this is a pretty big power spike. It's not the level 20 spike, but it is a big one. Ice Wall isolating the team, making them stick around here. Big stun, the Unstoppable coming out, but Kael'thas stuck behind the wall. Malfurion gonna pay for it though. Tassadar goes into the cocoon. Nothing on the Angelic Armaments, it sounds like. There comes Tassadar. Taco in the middle of everything here with Tychus going to town as the Odin. And that's most of this. Meow Meow may be in danger here, surrounded by all kinds of red health bars. Is ultimately going to fall, but just not enough damage from the team. Taco could not get back in there. Didn't have the health, doesn't have the cryo freeze to do anything about that. And now Prostman Pat gonna fall as well. And it's so close. 4 heroes here have almost no health. Rhaegar, of course, now getting a little bit more there at the moment, but holy cow. Now Taco just flirting with danger. I don't think there's any way that he gets out of this now. Yeah. I don't don't really know what the plan was there. Because it's not like they were like, if this channel was going on and they were trying to stall it out, then so be it. They'd already lost it. So I'm not 100% sure on that one there. So May's gonna be out for 30 seconds, and the boss this time, a little bit more value for Souls and Slow-Mo. They can come pull this boss because not only do they have the channel going, but they also have a hero still dead for a good amount of time. The death timers do increase over time. There's Zagara gonna have the Pyroblast. It's not gonna take much to finish Zagara here with a Pyroblast there. Big spell armor, but it's not going to be enough to survive that. And the full Zerg wave is going to be coming out here for Souls and Slow-Mo. Now, here's the big challenge. This could be a game-winning play for Souls and Slow-Mo. They've got the boss very healthy. They have a full Zerg wave very healthy coming together in the bottom lane. Right up to this keep. No level 20s for either team. Kael'thas instead electing to come up here and clear out the top lane. That is a significant Zerg wave. It could be a problem if left alone. But I feel like this might have been the case for them to say, you know what? Let's go all in on this. We have all of the tools necessary to make this happen. We can see how quickly this keep is going down there. Anubrak's going to get caught. Does use the Burrow Charge to get out. Had a cleanse as well. Falling Sword just to help make sure the Zerg still very healthy here. May put into the cocoon and the boss on the core. Meow Meow Cat's going in with the stun is gonna get taken out though by Rhaegar with that chump. Core falling rapidly. The shields are fully gone there. Anubrak trying to stall out, make sure that the Zerg and the boss are protected to make sure that that core goes down, and that's it. Game number 2 going over in favor of Souls and Slow-Mo. So there you go. We're going to get a game number 3 out of this. This is a full set tonight. And I have to say, if you're Souls and Slow-Mo, there were 2 key moments in that game that really went in your favor and pushed this to give you enough of a lead. The first one was that initial boss play. Being able to walk in a player down and convert what ended up being quite the bloodbath. 10 heroes dead, both sides completely fallen, but being able to pick up that boss and provide that pressure in the bottom lane, bring that fort down, and then ultimately finish it off later, opened up the map that led to them being able to get the core in that bottom rush. And then the second moment, obviously that top fight where they were able to win ever so slightly, right? Like everybody was so very low on the health bars, and ReGen Rebel stuck around a little bit too long, and that gave Souls and Slow-Mo the opportunity to capitalize that, get that boss, send that out with that minion, that Zerg wave, and ultimately finish the game. So there you go. Clappies. I mean, it's Clappies who one team wins, the other team loses, right? I mean, now we get to go to a third game, so we get more casting time, right? That's the big value. More game time. We get to participate more on the stream. And he gets to talk to me more. Although it is a little bit harder to do that that chat with a 30-second delay. Not impossible, but difficult. Hey, Max, thank you very much for your resubscription with Prime. And hello to, it's probably too late for the kids. So just say hello to my good friend Matt then. But when you see the kids in the morning, tell them that Uncle Arrow says hi. All right, so what, Franco, what's your little bomb here? Cosme, oh, it's a Nodders. Okay. I thought it was like a bomb trying to go off. And Harry, isn't that awesome? I love that little happy bird. I don't know what kind of bird it is. It's a bird in some kind of suit, but I love it. It's just so happy. Oh my goodness. All right, let me make sure. Okay, we do have that. I'm going to do another quick video clip so that I can have more to drink and continue on with the casting. So be right back in just a moment, everybody. When I go to the right page.
Hey, y'all out there. If you're gonna get through the summer, you need stamina. You need strength. You need Darkest Finley's Bust Your Workout. You want a beach buddy for the first time in your timid little life? Well, I got the toughest fitness program in the multiverse. But you cannot argue with results. I guarantee I can turn anybody into a rock-solid hero!
Looks like you need a timeout.
Darkest Finley, Bust Your and Darkest Finley are not responsible for damage inflicted by cannonballs, ghost pirates, enemy minions, garden terrors, web weavers, dragon knights, or immortals. Please consult the sport class to determine if Bust Your is right for you. All sales final. As I was saying, I can transform any... Now listen, you know none of this is legally binding, right? Hell, it's about summertime. We have a realm to destroy. So shall it be. Lay waste to this world. Strength in unity.
Do not falter!
Nice one. Cold as ice.
There is much for us to settle.
All right, everybody, welcome back here. Game number 3 coming up. We are tied 1 apiece between ReGen Rebel and Souls in Slow-Mo, and this is exciting. This is the first series of Division D East that has gone all the way to a game 3. Our map for this final game. Oh, whoa, wait, they're on the wrong side. Can't have that. All right. So anyways, our map here for our final game is going to be Alterac Pass, the epic battle between Horde and Alliance in the World of Warcraft, coming to Heroes of the Storm. And you've got your Ram Riders, you've got your Wolf Riders, and you've got the Elementals to come provide extra support. They don't really do that much, but you know, such is life. And you know what? I think it's a penguin. It's a blue penguin, so I don't know. Like maybe put on a blue jacket, and that's why, because it's got the little buttons. So it's, you know, clearly it's in some kind of like a jacket or tuxedo or something. But there you go. Shadra, thanks for the follow, and DL, thanks for the follow as well earlier. Sorry I missed that. And all right, cool. Wait, is because they had to switch sides. Now they had to switch some of the settings, so had to make sure that they were aware of that. They're all set on that, so that'll be fixed, and then we'll be able to go into game number 3 here. So anyways, what I was saying earlier, this is the first set of Division D East that has been able to go all the way to a game 3, and it really is enjoyable when you've got a third game, because it really shows that the teams that you're playing, that you're casting, that you're watching, like they're even, right? I mean, these are teams that have advantages in some areas, whether it's a character, whether it's the map. Is it being the first pick? Is it being able to choose where you go? And each team has their own preferences on those kind of aspects. And when you have 80-something heroes in the game, that has an impact too, because there are heroes who are going to be stronger for a period of time than others. And that's why you have these bans, right? To reduce the potential of your opponent from getting these significant value, the significant value out of those heroes that they play especially well, or heroes that are just extremely strong. Could be a puffin. Could be a puffin. And you know what? As long as you're going to bring out Mr. British there, might I point out that we also have, for those of you who are so inclined to not microwave your tea. Yeah, that's right. We got tea. Stukov, Johanna gonna be banned out, and you know, I'm not surprised to see Johanna gone. Johanna's won both games this set. And with ReGen Rebel having the first pick, Souls say, yeah, we're not gonna go for that. But that could open up some of those other heroes that we've seen banned out. The Brightwing, the Anduin have been banned out by Souls and Slowmo. Rhaegar being banned out now is a first. Rhaegar was played in both of the last 2 games. So that is going to force Souls and Slowmo to adjust their draft. Brightwing going to be final ban here for Souls and Slowmo in this first round. Our first pick for ReGen Rebel. What are we gonna see? So we've seen Deckard, we've seen, oh, it's the Junkrat, of course. And for all the same reasons that I said earlier on the other maps, really Junkrat for the last 3 could be a really strong hero. He's got the long range poke potential to make sure that your enemy can't channel and save their prisoners. You've got the ability to just put out a little bit of damage. You also have area denial. You've got traps that can potentially silence, preventing any kind of spells and abilities, and then you've got concussion mines to knock them all over the place, cause a lot of disruption. So I really like the Junkrat pickup here. That being said, now you've got Stitches and Anduin, and I mentioned earlier that Anduin is able to provide that pull to safety, that leap of faith to get you out of danger. However, he can also be a little bit more aggressive about that. With a Stitches is hungry. He wants to he wants to eat a hero. So we'll see if that ends up being the case, where Stitches gorges on a hero, pulls them off the map, and then Anduin pulls Stitches not to safety, but pulls the enemy hero to danger. See if that happens here. Oh, we got Syl back on the team here for ReGen Rebel. All right, let's see if I can catch up on some chat here. What do we got here? Po' boy, you can microwave tea. What about the staple on the tea bag? So just to clarify, Po' boy, we're talking about the water, not the actual tea bag. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. So we're just talking about tea. That's fine. Diablo going to be banned out here, as well as Gazlo. Did we see Gazlo banned earlier? I feel like we did. I mean, no, guess not. Must have been in a brawl or something I did. I would be, listen, for anybody here watching tonight, I would be especially careful about mentioning microwaving your tea. We have some very British folk, and they will not stand for it. All right, we got the Kael'thas and Blaze coming in to go along with that Stitches and Anduin. Oh. Let me fix that right now. There we go. All right, May and Uther. So May the pickup here for Taco, and Uther giving them that extra CC utility, the stuns. Ultimately could be a divine shield for the protection. So we'll have to see about that. Finally, it's going to be Tychus. So Tychus coming in once again here for Souls and Slowmo. All right, let's see. What do we got? You know, I do have to say sometimes it is nice when they pick the same heroes, because it means that I don't have to change too much on the app. But it's also nice to have different heroes, because it gives you a different style of game. You see more about the potential of what the team can become. So obviously we've seen about half of these heroes in the prior game so far. Hey Vader, good to see you. Good morning, I think, right? If I remember correctly, aren't you? Isn't it like early in the day for you? But here you go. It's game number 3. This is it. This is the last game. Whoever wins this gets the trophy of the match. Somebody's got the hiccups, it sounds like. Okay. All right. We're starting on the right side this time. Souls and Slowmo looking to bring this back. They lost game number 1, won game number 2. They want to get that reverse sweep. K4000 on the Kael'thas. We got Lone Wolf on the Blaze. Mamias, they're going to be on Anduin. Nemesis on the Tychus, and Toxic Core on the Stitches. And over here for the left, we've got ReGen Rebel. Velaravia going to be on the Uther. Prostman Bat on the Junkrat. Got Still on that Rainer once again. Meow Meow Cats on the Sonya, and Taco on the May. And hey, you know what? Best friend. We'd love to see it. Just being friendly. Here's the hook, calling out for that best friend. And that's a little bit of that combo you can expect to see. If Stitches gets that hook and pulls somebody in, well, Anduin has the ability to lock them down in place, chastise them, root them in place, make them think about what they've done. Just like that. There's the root. Does get caught. Sonya does get caught, rather. But the concussion mine from Junkrat. And that's what I mentioned in the beginning there with Junkrat is he's going to be able to provide a lot of that, both defensively and offensively, to isolate and separate and protect. See a little bit of an XP advantage at the beginning of the game here so far for the red team, just because they showed up into the different lanes a little bit faster. Kael'thas and Anduin going to come over and gather their siege camp, while Rainer's trying to do the same here for Rebel on the left. Streams Warzone. I'm too old to be picking up new games and streaming them like that. I played this one for years before I even got into casting. I cannot make growly sounds like that. Oh, nice stun there from the May, pushing Stitches back into the blizzard stun. And almost identical on the timing here. Now, these siege minions are a little bit different than we've seen in the others. So these are not the objective. Let me just start off by that. These guys have an attack that will cleave to enemies. And when they attack, they also reduce the overall armor of the enemies. You can see that on Stitches. That means he's taking 4% additional damage from all sources. That also will work on the structures. So this middle lane is pretty important. It means that the teams can send these minions down the camps down the lane and potentially cause a lot of damage with their armor reduction value. And so we see in these lanes here, we've got most of the team in both teams here in the middle for the moment, and then a rotation from Raynor and Uther to try to come down and just keep the pressure on here, because right now we've got these prison camps coming up. So for the Alliance, they have a Horde prisoner here, the Wolf Riders, and then for the Horde, they've got a Ram Rider. So each team is going to try to get their prisoner out of jail first. And unlike the second map that we just had, Brax's Holdout, nice hook there onto the Raynor, penetrating around, able to knock the enemies back. Because not only is the Chastise available for Anduin, but also that Gravity Lapse, the stun from Kael'thas. So a couple of different ways that they can follow up on the Stitches hook. And the camps are already back. Both teams going to go ahead and pick those up before they even head to do anything with their prison camps. Now, right now you see there's a 30-second timer on the right. Unlike Brax's Holdout, where both teams had some form of value out of that objective, this is a little bit more like the first map, where you win the objective or you lose the objective. So both teams are going to be trying to pick this up eventually. Sonya right now coming over, killing the minions that are there, and you can see we've got two of these little Alliance minions over here. They provide vision to the enemy team. In fact, let me show you what that looks like here. So if I go to Stitches, this is what Stitches can see. You can see there are no blue heroes on the map at the bottom right of your screen. They do see the Raynor on the map, but that's it. Junkrat now showing up here. Okay, that's all that the red team can see for right now. But let's actually come off of that right now. Raynor getting caught by the hook, a big jet propulsion follow-up. Still trying to make it through, and oh my goodness, Blaze! Lone Wolf! That long range flame suppression, just enough to get that first blood in this game. Sonya not looking so hot. Jet propulsion missing that one there. Icing coming in to boop everybody back in. Concussion Mine might give them the Tychus, and they do get it. The Leap of Faith just a little bit too late to pull Tychus out of danger. So what looked like it was going to be a second kill in favor of Souls and Slowmo ends up being a full trade. Ooh, KFP, are you going to be streaming soon? What are you going to be streaming? Do tell, do tell. Oh, you know what? I need to do a shout out. I can do that real quick. There we go. All right, so level 8's here. I think I had the talents up until just a second ago, but I'll put them up again here. So you see very little focus on the prison camps just at the moment, and there are good reasons for this. It kind of works against, well, there you go. As I said it, Uther coming down here. Okay, so let's talk about this vision. Now that these two little Horde minions are here, they provide vision to the red team. So the blue team was able to see their side, but the red team could not until these minions spawn. So now they can see this, but because there were no minions, Uther was able to walk in there and get that channel started, and nobody knew that it was taking place. And all ReGen Rebel is trying to do right now is just keep that prison camp going, and it looks like they're going to get it. Hook coming out onto Uther. There's that gorge, so Stitches is going to be able to make it around behind that wall. Uther's just toast here. Has the Divine Shield, is going to be able to make it around the back, but I don't think, yeah. I don't think they get very far with that. I think if Uther had done the Divine Shield and gone up here, maybe they could have made it out. They ended up walking into the rest of the enemy team. But here comes the prison, the Ram Riders rather. Now these Ram Riders give an aura, as you can see, once again, blue circle. They give an aura that increases the damage and healing and movement speed of anybody within, if I remember correctly, by 10%. And that includes all the little minions. So the damage potential is significant. And they have a pretty decent amount of health. So they can push into these forts rather significantly. Jet propulsion is going to land there onto Taco. The Pyroblast coming out. I don't know if he can survive this. Yeah, okay, just barely. Had the armor from Uther. One of the value plays here from Uther in this comp is that Uther, anytime he heals a target, gives armor to that target. So I believe it's 20%. We'll see in a second. Maybe 25. Yeah, 25. They upped that. So 25% armor. That means that any damage incoming is going to be reduced by 25%. His healing is a little bit less effective than other heroes, but he can mitigate damage. So it's kind of the same thing. Very helpful for doing, for protecting against things like that Pyroblast. Oh my goodness, there was a jet propulsion interrupted by the icing from Taco here. And you know what? Sonya says, I'm gonna leap. We're gonna get this kill. Raynor, however, Raynor must have died up here. Yeah, okay. So Raynor got caught. Looks like got gorged here. 40 seconds left on gorge. So yeah, that's exactly what happened. Pulled into the fort and then just dropped the Hyperion to do whatever damage that could be done to the fort. But the first fort of the game is going to fall, and it's going to be in favor of ReGen Rebel. That said, top lane does have the wall down. So a little bit of pressure available. And of course, the siege camp coming in the mid lane now as well. I'm not sure I want to know what you read it as there, KFP. All right, looks like maybe yeah, okay, they are. So Souls and Slowmo is kind of messing around with the boss. Looks like they're just trying to bait this out. No Blaze though, so oh my, this could get really interesting. Riptire coming out from Junkrat, not gonna be able to negate. Oh no, and the leap, not able to get over the wall, but it's okay. Divine Shield is enough. And look at all of the tools used to there to not only attack and grab that Sonya, bring her over the wall to try to kill her, but to protect. You had that concussion mine, but there's that knockback. Here's the combustion, but Lone Wolf too low to really continue in with that, and just barely able to get that jet propulsion to stay out of danger here. Hook coming out missing. That's about 16 seconds or so on that timer before that will be available again. So ReGen Rebel has a little bit of time that they can come into this. All right, Vader, enjoy. I hope you have a wonderful work day. Thanks for being here. And Hyperion once again doing a little bit of damage. You can see here it's winding up, and there's that Yamato cannon doing pretty significant damage. Both teams now onto their camps. Need to get arrows set up with BTT. Yeah, probably. I mean, I think I have BTTV. I don't remember if I set it up or not. Now that I think about it. Yeah, there has been really good follow-up from Souls and Slowmo. They have a lot of potential follow-up, whether it's the jet propulsion from Blaze, the Chastise from Anduin, or that Gravity Lapse from Kael'thas. There's so many ways for them to follow up on Stitches getting a hook. Whether they have Gorge or not, it's still a dangerous circumstance here. Blaze gonna get caught by the ice wall, has the Unstoppable from that level 1 talent, so he's able to get out of there. The Riptire not quite where it needed to be, and Uther this time gonna be the one picked up. Uther's got the Divine Shield, so is gonna be able to make it out. Blaze had that combustion, only really did any significant slowing to the Mei. Chastise causing a problem there for that Sonya, getting rooted as minigun coming out, doing that percent damage, bringing Sonya pretty significantly low in health. All right, fair enough, fair enough. You know, I'll get with my mods. I'll get with my mod team and see if I can figure out what BTTV to add. All right, May coming in, uses the blizzard to zone out the Stitches, but a light bomb hits onto 3, giving a big shield to the Stitches, but the leap and concussion mine enough to lock down Stitches and secure them a kill. Icing coming in, knocking Kael'thas back. Blizzard is going to help to zone out the rest of Souls and Slowmo, and ReGen Rebel now getting 2 kills. And on to the boss. Level 16s here now. We'll see what we've got for those talents here. And this is, I mean, this is the best play right here. Souls and Slowmo going to be able to come start the point for their prison camp. They can't really do anything about this boss, so they may as well get whatever they can on this timer. 30 seconds down, and each one of these prison camps increases by 10 seconds until a maximum of 50 seconds. So ReGen Rebel should be able to come down here and pause that. They start that pause right now with Prostman Pat there. Big stun keeping Mimius alive, and Pyromania used by Lone Wolf to stay alive. Light Bomb is going to get a big stun again. 3 heroes giving a shield onto Blaze as well as that stun. So really keeping Blaze alive. I mean, Blaze kept the Anduin alive, then Anduin said, I got you, and did the same. Second fort going down. Souls and Slowmo now finding themselves with very little frontline defenses. Stitches looking for a blind hook there. Didn't quite get anybody. If he had, that could have been very dangerous, but it's not going to matter. Concussion Mine to throw Stitches away. This time Combustion hits onto do. Ice Wall is going to isolate the Tychus here. But we're all kinds of split up. Blaze having to get away, cannot make it, and Stitches now as well. Once again, a double kill here for ReGen Rebel. Sonya coming in. Meow Meow Cats. Can I just point out here, Sonya now, a couple of times this game, able to lock down and secure these kills. Maybe not getting the killing blows in every time, but ultimately making sure to finish the job. Not letting the heroes get away. So we've had some really significant plays from both teams on this, but right now it's ReGen Rebel with all of the structure value and the second camp here. Now catching Tychus here would be absolutely phenomenal for ReGen Rebel, and that puts them in a position now to take out bottom keep with this Ram Rider coming in. Now let's take a look at this core. Core is a little bit different. This core has these little armor things on it. Any core is invulnerable until you take down the keep and a fort in the same lane. Well, here we go. Ice Wall coming in. Blizzard is going to be able to stun the Stitches. I think Anduin's trying to get the leap of faith, but with the May in the backline, it's very dangerous here. Divine Shield used maybe a little bit early with that cryo freeze, but a lot of abilities used to keep everybody alive. So big play there. Mimius, I thought that was really dangerous there for Stitches and Anduin, but they were able to survive it. But the second keep going down is monstrous. The core now has lost. I mentioned it's got these armor. Well, there you go. A little bit of anti-synergy. The Gorge not getting the value of the Chastise or the Jet Propulsion, but it didn't matter because Uther didn't have like any support, didn't really have any way to get out with the Divine Shield, so just kind of died. But you know what? Absolutely huge play. 1, 2, 3 keeps down, and this game is in the hands of ReGen Rebel at this point. This is at this moment, it is their game to lose. They've got 20s coming up, and Souls and Slowmo doing literally anything they can. They have to take this boss off the map, because if ReGen Rebel picks this up, that core will not survive. Bosses are not super great in this map in particular because of the way that the armor works for the core. And I love this play. Well, I love it a little bit less once they showed on the map. So the boss doesn't get a lot of value here because it's going into a fort. But what it does do is it means that ReGen Rebel can't pick it up. Rebel, however, coming in and just saying, hey, we can attack this core. It has no armor. It doesn't have a ton of health. There's no shield. But it does regenerate health. So they needed to do it a little bit faster. They do have their level 20s as well. So if they had played that a little bit more effectively and stayed out of vision, this could have been a game-winning play for them. But instead, Souls in slow-mo. Oh my goodness. Could have an opportunity here. They're not level 20 though, so they've got to get it before these cavalry come in. If this cavalry completes, I think it's game over. So they might have to just say go for it without the level 20s. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to have level 20 soon. It might not be soon enough. Toxicor trying to just get in close, maybe try to stall things out. But Stitch is getting very low, already under half health here. Combustion coming out is going to hit onto 3, so that's pretty significant. Light Bomb only going to hit onto the May, but Stitch is very low. And the Ice Wall and Sonya's Leap, kind of anti-synergy there, but it doesn't matter. 3 heroes down, Rebel cleaning up number 4, and the cavalry is coming onto the map. They are going to make their way right over to the core. Oh, you know what? They're just going to find themselves a little Kael'thas here. Full team wipe. Regen Rebel getting the domination of the entire team to finish off this game. And now we just watch as Drekthar slowly goes to his doom. Unfortunately, these are the endings that are always a little bit slow, because you're like, okay, well, we know that you're going to win. It's going to happen. There's not anything you can do about it. There's not a whole lot to talk about in that moment. But there you go. And that is going to be game number 3 going over to Regen Rebel. Hey, I said go to stats. Thank you. Very aggressive, Peebo. All right, so I'll show the stats here for a moment, and we'll get an interview with one of our friends from Regen Rebel. Let's see here. Make sure they're not already somewhere. All right, so we'll give them a moment to join us. Maybe. Hopefully. I hope somebody's going to be coming and joining us soon. Oh, wait. There we go. All right. All right. We are joined here by Taco and Sil from Regen Rebel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the interview. Congratulations on your victory, and how does it feel to have your first win of the season under your belt?
Woohoo!
It's great, Arrow. Well, one, it feels great having the first match of the season cast. That's always it's a fantastic feeling to get onto the, I would say the big stage, but I'm gonna go ahead and say the wide stage because I know how you cast. And I was really excited to play Souls in Slow-Mo because last season they gave us a run for our money. I honestly don't remember who won the set with them last season, but they were a good team. They were difficult to play against, and I was really glad to play them early so that we could get it out of the way. And I think they'll be really good scrim partners if they'll have us, since we're done with our match for the season until maybe the playoffs.
Sure. Well, listen, that was an absolutely crazy, fantastic match. There were a lot of plays on both teams that, like, go back and clip some of those moments, because they were some highlight reel worthy moments. So let's talk a little bit about these games, and you know, I'm not gonna do a taco and spend 30 minutes in an interview, but
did you just use me as a verb?
He just called you out, Taco.
Oh my goodness! I like talking to people.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
it's okay. I'm still in the interview. I can make it long.
It's my show. I can make it short. So we started off here, and you guys obviously had the map picks for the first two games. And you went to Tomb of the Spider Queen, you went to Brax's Holdout, both very small maps. And we saw some Johanna, we saw obviously Tychus from them, we saw Diablo. What are some of the things about your draft in game number 1 that you felt really contributed to your success in that Tomb of the Spider Queen game?
Well, it helps that I didn't die. That it's always notable when I don't die, because we do really well when Taco stays alive, and we don't do really well when Taco does not stay alive. So,
so for those of you keeping track at home, when your tank is alive, you do better.
Well, anecdotally, right? But the plural of anecdote is data. So our draft, it was, it seemed very spidery, right? Just it's a tight place, and we thought, what's fun around corners, coming around from places that you can't see, and it was kind of a throwback to how Rebel was playing last season and in our early days as well. And so we thought, first game of the season, first match, first game, let's get some Rebel classics in. And so that's kind of where that went.
Sure. And so one of the staples here we had, Sil, you were on the Rainer here, both in game number 1 and 3, of course. 100% win rate for Sil. I mean, let's start with that. How does that feel to be the only person on the team with 100% win rate this season?
Oh my god.
I didn't even think about that. I've been instructed to tell everyone how beautiful my team is, and they are beautiful, beautiful people. So, thank you, team, for allowing me to have this.
Excellent. So I have to point out, there were, especially in game number 1, there were some really fantastic moments with the penetrating round. Like, penetrating round is an ability that, first of all, I'm sure that the Twitch chat people who are here, who are not normally Here's the Storm watchers, are going to just really love to hear me say that multiple times. But it's an ability that's not really super easy to hit. You have to get used to that ability. So, like, is
Stormbolt
a little bit, but it's a little bit narrower in that. And so, like, are you super comfortable on Rainer? Is just like, do you just love this hero and it's so easy, or did you just make it easy and everything is just so easy for you? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
I have a confession. I used to really hate playing Rainer, but there's something serene about playing macro Rainer, which is what I chose to do with his build. And I do feel comfortable doing it. It's just relaxing to do. So, yeah, sure. I do feel comfortable in Rainer.
All right. So game number 2, we end up with this moment that somebody's going to have to clip. I have no idea how long it is. It's probably longer than 60 seconds. And at the very beginning of the game, I mentioned, because as I said, some people are here that aren't normally here. And so I was talking a little bit about the map, and I said, there's this boss in the middle, and it's pretty much how you lose the game. And so I was very happy, I guess you could say, that we were given the opportunity to see exactly that in motion. And so when you guys made that boss call, what was going through the team at that moment? First of all, let's start with that. Was there any concern because they did have just the one person down, but they were really short death timers? Like, was that even a concern?
Well, we thought we had a little bit more time with 2 of them down. I think it took a little bit too long to get over there, but I did make the see, I'm giving away secrets and I'm not supposed to. Yeah,
don't give away secrets.
I won't give away secrets, but it's very basic. It's very basic mechanics with the heroes that we played. So I'm okay. I'm okay with that, and I'll get yelled at later. But Ice Wall is a stasis. So if someone's in stasis, they're not technically on the map. And since you preface this as especially for people that aren't familiar with the game, so that's the approach I'm going. When you're in that stasis in the Ice Wall, you're not on the map. So when the boss goes down and we Ice Wall them, they can't cap it. they can't capture the point to take the boss, and we can during that time. So that was kind of the approach there. But I did a taco, as apparently is becoming a popular phrase, and missed the ice wall. So
Not everybody. There were a lot of
were
people that
able
hit there.
to stop us from capping.
Yeah. But it ended up, and it was so hilarious watching as one hero after another just falls and falls and falls.
Yeah.
And then you get to the last two, and it's like, no, is this really going to happen? I think it was
Right.
Rhaegar was the last one, and then on the side of Souls and Slowmo, and then of course Tassadar gets caught by that boss missile. So it doesn't go in your favor. I was excited to see the Malfurion, though. I thought that was a good pairing, and I was really excited to see the 3-2 split and kind of the back and forth that both you and Souls and Slowmo had with that. Now, obviously, they started that way. How did that work out for, like, when you were responding to that? What was kind of your reaction, and did you come up with a way to try to deal with that? I mean, obviously, you didn't win the game, but
Right?
what
Yes.
was the goal
Succeed?
there, right?
No. Yeah, we tried to. I mean, it came down to basic math, really. Top lane, it was they had 100% more people, and bottom lane we had 33% more people, and so the 100% more people was able to get much more progress than we were, and we weren't able to appropriately respond quick enough. But that's already going to get fixed, so that is no longer good information to use against us because, yeah.
It happens. Well, in adapting your strategy and going into Alterac, which was their selection, both of these teams had really interesting drafts, and they had the hook gorge potential, and obviously you guys had the Junkrat. I do want to say, and I mentioned this in the cast as well. Meow Meow absolutely killing it with the leaps tonight on getting a couple of those. Just looking fantastic. But you guys looked really strong in that game. There were very few moments that were a little bit cautious there for you. There was one moment that I had a moment of concern, and this is specifically for you, Taco. What on that bottom keep at the very end of the game when it was Stitches up in the front and Anduin behind, what was kind of going through your mind as you were like, hey, I'm just going to go hang out with the three of them and not worry about the keep? Were you trying
I don't
to
think you're
disrupt them?
the
Like, what was
only person
plan there?
wondering about that, but I actually have a really good reason for that. But first, to comment on Meow, who is the most beautiful offlaner I've ever seen. She said, you know what? Sonya kind of looks like me, so I'm going to scream at people. And so she did. Just to give credence to that. I noticed that... See, here I go giving you a real answer again. I noticed that they were doing the Gorge Leap of Faith, and then also, it's Anduin Leap of Faith, right? So I was trying to preempt that by harassing the Anduin enough that either he was unable to make a rescue, or if he did make a rescue, that person that he rescued was still punished. And so it was more of just a really aggressive zoning than it was a suicide mission. Because those aren't cool, and aggressive zoning is.
And that's about what I figured. It seemed to kind of fit with that narrative, and it worked. I mean, Stitches got isolated. Anduin did ultimately pull him out, but you didn't lose any heroes out of it. You actually ended up getting all three keeps with that, and really picking up that game. So, listen, it looked absolutely fantastic. I want to ask Syl, because of course I haven't had a chance to get a whole lot out of you tonight. What was your favorite play tonight?
Oh, favorite play. Before I say, can I just shout out to Toxic Core how good his Stitches hooks were tonight? They were great. He definitely surprised me. So shout out to you guys. Really great combo.
Toxic Core had some absolutely fantastic plays tonight.
It was so good.
Several games,
it was so good. And the Anduin pull, they have that combo down really well.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a favorite play. I liked. Okay, that's not true. I called to flank the Tychus at the very end to secure that kill, and then we're like, let's go finish this off.
And
so I liked that one.
Call may very well have been the call that won you guys the game. That getting that kill and putting that pressure in that bottom lane may very well have been the defining moment of that game. So there you go. Good call.
Thank you.
I think, and while you mentioned Meow is really flashy. It's just it's a personality thing. Sil Coffee here, I think, absolutely carried that game 3 with the Raynor play, and the extra information she put into our team making call decisions was absolutely on point, and there were some really good, more importantly, some really good no calls or call offs. So really great job on that tonight. And of course Pat, because we have Pitman Tass, Prostman Pat is the probably the greatest Prostman you'll ever have come to your door with a black and white cat. So
our team is beautiful. I love them.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up and any shout outs.
So I guess to finish that, and so that I have a bed to sleep in tonight, obviously my wife, who is my healer and keeps me alive and is the reason why I had 2 no death games. Oh my goodness, put it on a mark the day. To Souls and Slowmo, like I said earlier, really enjoy playing against them. They're a really tough group, and I look forward to going the rest of the season getting better with them. And obviously to you, Arrow, and picking up our cast and the rest of the region community, because we're part of the region community. We're a region team, and it's one of the greatest communities I've ever seen. So, yeah.
So?
Oh, no, I think I said my piece. Sorry, you hear my husband in the background. He's playing a very exciting game of Fortnite right now.
Specifically Murdad, then. Murdad and our Season 13 coach, Silverado, also known as Silver Arrow, which there was discussion earlier about an Arrow tier list, and if he's Silver Arrow, I think that, like, by definition makes him second, so we'll debate who is that Gold Arrow later.
Yeah, I actually mentioned at the beginning of the cast when I saw he was in chat, I said, I think that makes me like the Gold Arrow or the Prime Arrow, like something
there
like
you
that.
go.
Yeah.
Prime Arrow, I like that one, Arrow.
Yeah.
You should stick to that one.
Yeah, I like it. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me. Again, congratulations on your victory. Don't forget to report your match, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Reported. Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Good night.
All right, that's it for us tonight. 2-1 ReGen Rebel. I was going to say Nebula again. That's who I cast on Monday. ReGen Rebel over Souls and Slowmo. I know several of you guys are in chat watching, so absolute pleasure to be able to cast this game tonight. Really exciting. Looking forward to see what both of your teams do this season, and so good luck. So we are going to raid over to, I think we're going to go to Jazzy again, actually. Jazzeline is pre-workout power versus We Taketh Awayeth, which is a best of 5 series. It is the Storm division. I mentioned that at the beginning of the cast. These are the best of the best teams available in Nexus Gaming Series. So we're going to go ahead and send you over to Jazzy for that. Thanks everybody for being here. It's been a really fun time. I appreciate those of you who followed and subscribed tonight. And, you know, my good friend and mod, Ariane, thank you for being here and making sure that everybody is staying in the lines and, you know, warming up their tea properly. So have a wonderful night, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Yeah, see you, Franco.